You are All-American at LSU, one of the more famous plays in LSU history, the interception in the national championship for a touchdown.
He looked ugly running down that field, though.
I scored, though.
But you look ugly running down that
It
field.
don't even matter what it looked like,
did,
Chan.
But and I know, and I love it.
I did.
He had
You
great.
look
Hey,
ugly running down.
I'm gonna say this though,
After that
Chan.
game wasn't ugly.
Hey, Chan, I'm gonna say
I
this
looked
now.
real good after that game.
hey, I'm gonna say this now too. Best hands, top 5 hands I've ever seen in my life. When he got to school,
on.
no,
Hands.
he got hands like pillows. Like honestly, bro.
He played D tackle.
But
He
it
played tight end.
correlates
He was an
basketball.
All-American tight end.
No. He made money playing defensive line.
But he was an All-American tight end when we recruited him.
Your hands that good.
Throw it over here. I got it.
Hey, so, but I say that to say you do get drafted first round, but you go to America's team, right? And
Yeah.
were you the same year as DeMarcus? So
Yep,
it's
me and
both of y'all.
DeWare same
DeMarcus
year,
Ware comes in the same year. What's that like when you walk into that building and it's Jerry Jones and it's the Star and it's the Lombardi trophies and all the Hall of Famers? What's that feeling like when you
Yeah.
walk into the building as a Cowboy?
You go back to little. Like when I showed up and you was at LSU and you and Brady James, Trev Falk, Jarvis Green, like you go back to how I'm gonna earn my way. And then too, man, like it's so polarizing, right? Like I remember being little watching the Dallas Cowboys on Hard Knocks and knowing about the triplets with Troy and Emmett and Mike and all of the great players, man. And when I got there, Bill Parcells was the coach. For me, it was like an overload. It was like football overload, bro. Like, and I played for Nick Saban, and we say it all the time, like the coach you play for, that don't prepare you.
Right.
Because I tell, like when we talk to dudes, and I know y'all do this too, man, when you leave practice facility in the league, you go home and you on your own time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we had study hall in college. We lived in a confined space. You could tap in with your partners. You could tap in with, I was right down the street from my family. That's not everybody's situation. But when I got drafted to Dallas, man, it was time to like, from a football standpoint, and I tell people all the time, man, football is difficult for us because it's the mental and physical. And the physical, we know we gonna get hurt. We know we gonna deal with something all year long. Like, we know that. As good as we feel in that offseason coming in, we know we gonna deal with something. But in Dallas, you deal with that on top of pressure of winning, on top of the pressure of the media presence, always available, on top of Jerry's expectations, rookie year on top of Bill Parcells' expectations, and then the weight of being a first-round draft pick.
Right.
Like, I know people like to talk about the beautiful side of it.
Right.
The weight that comes with being drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, like, bro, it's something you either embrace it or it's gonna eat you alive.
Right.
And when I got to Dallas, you know, y'all know schemes and systems. I wasn't playing the same football I played at LSU. Like all of the success that had led me to be drafted in the first round.
All that's gone.
All that's gone. I'm
Right.
doing something totally different now.
Yeah.
That was an adjustment period. I wasn't getting sacks. I was called the bust because D-Ware was having so much success early in his career. This guy, this a wasted draft pick. The same year, Aaron Rodgers went 30th or 32nd in that same draft. And, you know, hindsight 2020, shit, I would have drafted Aaron Rodgers too.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so for me, man, it was more about the mental part of kind of bringing it back to football. Because in Dallas, it becomes about so much more, man. But I brought it back to football. And then once I got to that point, I started kind of maturing, and I was around some great vets, Greg Ellis and Leroy Glover. Them was my two vets that really taught me, like, hey, man, like, you got to settle in. You got to find your way. Like, we could give you nuggets, but your way is going to be your way of how you last around here. And then 8 years, man. Play 8 years in Dallas. And really, my rookie year was the reason why I was able to. Because I was around people that knew the league, knew how to function in it. And then I had to get over the fact that I was no longer going to be who everybody was coming to the stadium to see. And y'all know as football players, that's the hardest way, except him.
Yeah, he never had that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Superstar.
it's just one of them things, man, where you gotta, again, humble yourself.
Yeah.
And really understand, like, I'm not gonna be Braun. I could be PJ Tucker. I could be Pat Beverly. Like, my role can be as important to the whole thing as opposed to being so important that I want everybody to recognize me for what I'm doing.
But Swag, that's tough though.
It is,
Like
bro.
RC was just saying, bro. All-American in high school, All-American in college.
Yeah,
I'm the
man.
same way.
Yeah.
I was in that 05
I know,
draft,
I
but
know.
I went way behind all of y'all.
It's okay.
You were 20.
You balled, though.
I was 70.
You balled.
Yeah, we did it though.
Yeah.
But bro, do you ever look back? Because I look at stuff, and Mel Kiper,
Yep.
sack of shit.
You hate Mel?
I hate Mel
For
because
the-
he
for
told
the
me I'm
draft?
going top. I'm going first round, and I end up spending I got $1 million credit line.
Well, that ain't Mel's fault.
That's Mel's
No,
fault.
it ain't, Channing.
Swag.
No,
He
it ain't.
told me I'm going first round. I looked at the first round and said, I'm gonna make $8 million. I can get $1 million credit line. I'm good.
Uh-huh.
And I went and spent $370,000 before I got a penny.
That ain't Mel's fault.
That's Mel's fault.
Dum-dum. That's you.
But to that point, you go first round.
Yeah.
You get that
Yep.
acceptance. But like you just said, that's what posed to me, or what I wanted to ask a question about, was the pressure of being a first rounder. You're set. You got money. You good to go. What's the pressure there? Like, what are you talking about pressure, bro? Bro, you set. You start. You gonna start if you're a first rounder.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. You know this, and Fred know this, and RC know this. The pressure of success is way harder than the pressure of not having nothing. Like, as you get older, you start realizing, like, because when I say pressure, it comes from the expectation of what you supposed to be in everybody else's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you internalize that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, D-Well went to the Pro Bowl his second year. In my mind, why I ain't in the Pro Bowl? Like, what happened to me? What happened to my game? Like, what I'm not doing in the offseason? I'm working hard. I'm showing up. Like, what's going on? So I think a lot of times, man, you just have the pressure of what everybody else has seen and the expectation of that. And the funny thing is, and this is something for the younger generation, man, money don't solve no problems outside of you being able to, the internal problems, money don't got nothing to do with that. They got billionaires who want to jump off a bridge right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they got somebody around them that's hopefully talking them out of it.
Right.
Perspective, like if Bill Gates, we all talk about how much money Oprah got. If Bill Gates' money went to Oprah money, that's failure.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, so I'm always cautious, because when I used to hear that, I'd be like, man, yeah, I got a big bag when I got out of school. I'm playing for the Cowboys. Ain't no, man, listen, that expectation that's coming from that front office and that expectation that's coming from that coach. And then too, like, when you in the league, the dudes that draft you, they job on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see it all the time. So it's pressure. It's a different kind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's relative, man. It's relative. And, you know, a person that got money got a different set of problems than a person that don't have that type of money. But it don't make them problems no more or no less. It's just relative to the life that they live in. And when I got drafted, the expectation was to revamp a defense, be exactly what Bill Parcells thought I was going to be. And it didn't happen until like my second year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, Bus, he ain't ready. It's all of that, right? And you hearing this. You hearing this, because football was all I knew as a profession at that point. And I was still too young to realize, like, these things take time.